Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Abigail. Most of my videos have to do with special needs or health issues or feeding tubes, but I do think that it's good to have a little bit of a laugh, especially when you have health issues. So today I wanted to share a few funny things that have happened to me in my life. To hopefully, if you're having a hard day, not just health related stuff, but also maybe a hard day in general, maybe you can laugh at some of these. I was trying to think of some of the most embarrassing in public stories. One that comes to mind is that a few years ago, we had this van, and we actually still have it, but it's broke right now. But we're a family of 5, so it's easier to go around places in like a van, so that we could all ride together. Well, we had just gotten back home from getting groceries, and I think it was like from Walmart or something, and our neighbors were outside. And these neighbors, we see them on pretty much a daily basis. We don't like go over to their house, but like we see them like when they're outside and things like that, and we like know them really well. Like if there's an emergency, they're like the neighbors we would, call. Anyways, we get home and we have like a whole van full of groceries. And we're all trying to get out of the van, and I was all the way in the back seat. And when it was my turn to get out, my mom, she picks me up to she picks me up so that I could go like over the groceries, because we had a lot of groceries and some of them were like by our van sliding door. So my mom picks me up, and while my mom is in the middle of picking me up to set me on the ground, I hear our neighbor say, "Hi, Curtis family," which is our last name. And it was like really embarrassing because, like I said, not only do we see these neighbors like pretty much on a daily basis, but I felt like it kind of looked like I needed help every time I get out of the van, even though it really wasn't like that. It just happened to be that I needed help out of the van at that moment because there were so many groceries. It was like really embarrassing. And then also, I was younger in this one. I don't remember exactly how old I was, but we were at this public park and they had baby swings. And I would say I was probably maybe 12 or 13, maybe. I was way too old to be in a baby swing, okay? But I had this idea of that it would be fun to try to be in a baby swing because I am small, okay? So I get in this baby swing, and technically I did fit, but when it was time to get out of the baby swing, I was stuck. And it took us a little while, but we finally got me out without like too much help. It was like really embarrassing because we were at a public park, and I don't even remember how many people were at the park at the time, but I do remember it was like super embarrassing. And from that day on, I have never ever tried to get in a baby swing ever again. It's funny because, when you're so young, like I think I might have been, I don't remember how old I was, maybe 12, 13 at the time. even at that young, I thought, oh, it would be fun. I'm a small person, but no, I still got stuck, even that young. So that was really embarrassing. And then the third one is okay. So basically, we had this youth night where, if you don't know what a youth night is, it's kind of like a church service, but it's like more casual, and it's for young people, meaning like teenagers and young adults. And normally they have like a short lesson, kind of like a Sunday school lesson, and then they have like games afterwards. Like normally we'd tell like a Bible story, and then would like pray, and then we would eat and play games. This was before my health issues, when I could eat anything. So like I don't remember how old I was at the time. Maybe 15 or so. And they played this game where like there were two teams and they had different dares. And everybody had the same dares, but the point of the game was to try to get back to the church first, and whoever got back to the church first wins. And it was like crazy things. Like we had to go to the McDonald's parking lot, park our church van. All the youth get out. They play Duck Duck Goose in the middle of the parking lot, and then whenever we say goose, we all jump up and we run back to the church van. And what was even worse about it, or even more embarrassing, was we had to film everything for like proof that we did it. So that was really embarrassing because like people were in the McDonald's drive-thru and they were like actually staring at us. We also had to like go to a public park and like jump off a swing. We had to go to Walmart and find somebody to put a couple of like items in their cart, and like where they wouldn't like notice, and then like run off. It was just like crazy things like that, and it was like super fun, but it was also like really embarrassing. And then whenever we got back, okay, so sorry for the pause. Something happened, but I think the last story I'm going to share is that okay, so there's one time at church where we were talking about the tabernacle plan in the Bible. Well, not only were we talking about the tabernacle plan, but our pastor wanted the young people to act it out. And so, like, all of the young people go up there. So it's like, I think they said like everyone under 30. Okay. So, like, everyone under 30 goes up there. I go up there, and what I am is the candlestick. So I gotta stand like super straight with like my hands in the air, but like together, I think is what it was. And we had to stand up there, and like the whole congregation was like looking at us. But the funniest part of the whole thing was that because there were several things in the tabernacle, we didn't have enough young people to act it all out. So then people over 30 had to go up there too. And it was like super funny, but like also kind of embarrassing because it was like the whole church was like looking at us. Anyways, it was a hilarious memory. Actually, no, I'll share one more. I don't remember what our pastor was preaching on, but they needed a young person to pick up. So our pastor asked my older brother to go to the front and like pick up this young person, you know, meaning like a little kid. And our pastor said something like, I would pick Abby, but that's what I go by at church. I would pick Abby, but if we dropped her, it would be really bad and she could get really hurt. And I'd feel bad about that. So we could pick somebody else. I just thought that that was super funny. So I hope these stories made you laugh. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye, everyone.